Welcome to Stand Up for All Kids. I'm Mike Hose, Lean Health Coach. If you have any questions throughout the show, you can go to the Facebook page, Stand Up for All Kids. You can also go to my website, or my email address is naturalistichealthoptions@gmail.com. Just a little bit about why I started and share a little bit about my journey. We're doing an event here to make awareness about a gluten-free pasta dinner that we're going to have November 21st. It's going to be at the Sharon Town Hall from 6 to 8. And a lot of kids are finding out that maybe they're not celiac disease, but they have a gluten sensitivity. So it can be kind of stressful of what to eat. So we're just going to do a pasta dinner, $4. Santa will be there, so bring the kids and get those holiday pictures and just come learn a little bit about the testing and learn about some of the results that we have seen with the kids that's gotten the testing. So some of the tests that I'll be talking about is a IgG food sensitivity test. Another test is a hair mineral analysis test. So personally, I went through the testing in 2013 and 2014, and you'll see my results pop up here. You can see the top photo is the food sensitivity test. So I never knew that I had issues with dairy until I actually had this test. You can see whey protein, casein, different things were triggers for me. So it was very helpful for me to find that out. On the bottom is some ratios. It was a hair test, so it was checking my minerals. And you can see that just things weren't in the white, which would be the acceptable range. So when you hear somebody talking about a balanced diet, that's what they're really talking about. And this was very helpful for me to find balance. As you can see on the one side, where things were just not as balanced, and then where I got to where I was much more balanced. So immune markers, stress, thyroid, adrenals, things like that, I was able to get more balanced and just feel better. So I started talking with people, I started sharing my results, and a lot of people said, I wish I could afford the testing. So I decided that, I'm doing pretty good financially, and I wanted to give back because I was just grateful for being able to get those answers for myself. So I started Stand Up for All Kids, and I give a portion of the money back, and I have now more people helping me. And basically what I'm helping them with is that the food sensitivity test, and I'm also helping them get the hair mineral analysis test. So in 2016 and 2017, I was working with kids with autism, ADHD, allergies, asthma, things like that. And then come around, say like at the end of 2017, I'm like, I really want to work with an athlete and just see if I can improve their performance. So you'll see the test results. There's just a sample report that's going to come up here in a minute. And you'll see that this is just a sample. It's not anybody's results. It's going to check you for 96 different foods. So you'll see that there's dairy, there's eggs, there's different meats, there's fruits, there's fish. And then on the next side of it is the rest of the foods that are tested, and you'll see there's grains. So a lot of times it'll check for gluten, wheat, different vegetables, and just if it's in the green, eat as much as you want. If it's yellow, you want to kind of maybe avoid it and not eat too much of it. If it's red, absolutely just stay away from it. So I started talking and I started doing some research, wanted to find a local kid that I could work with, and I reached out to Shane Corp and his parents, and we met and we talked, and really just couldn't be happier to have Shane kind of here with me and be working with him as his nutritional coach. And he's a BMX racer. He's a senior at Wadsworth. This is a picture of him riding his bike, going over a jump. I think it's really important for these kids to have the good nutrition because they're the ones that are making that bike go. So they use their energy to get around that track, and strong bones is important in case they have a crash or something. They'll be less likely to maybe have an injury or a broken bone. We'll go into Shane's results here and just kind of review that. So what we did in 2018 January, we did the food sensitivity test with Shane, and what you can see is dairy. So not too much of other stuff, but whey protein and dairy was one of the things we found. And that was, something was easy for me because it was basically all I had to do was kind of give up dairy and whey protein. The other test that we did with Shane was the food sensitivity test. And when it pops up, you'll see that we found maybe some lower markers in the potassium. So I try not to overwhelm the kids, but then off to the right, you'll see that there's actually the heavy metals. So kids that exercise a lot, you can see that they just detox better. So we don't find a lot of toxins like mercury and arsenic and cadmium and lead and aluminum. So he was already, pretty clean in that aspect, but he was a little bit low in potassium. And so when I would go to the races with him, one of the things that I would bring would be kind of like a mandarin orange, mainly because if you look at it and see, that's just us having a mandarin orange, having a little bit of fun, because I definitely like to make it fun with the kids. But we would, mandarin oranges are loaded with potassium and a good source of energy. Another source would be bananas. So if you go to Giant Eagle, sometimes they have a bag of bananas. You can get them for $1. So you can freeze them, you can throw them in smoothies. Anytime I'm there and I see this bag of bananas for $1, I'm grabbing them, because even I was low in potassium. A lot of people were low in potassium. Another change that we made with Shane was, I recommended a product that I started 4 years ago. You can see I did the capsules. They come in gummy forms too, which are the chewables. They're just more fruits and vegetables that I get into my body. Also with the kids, when we found out that Shane needed another protein source and he couldn't really do the whey protein, a friend of mine reached out to me and we did one of the actual vegan. So this is 100% plant-based vegan protein powder. So we just made some changes in Shane's diet. And then I'd like Shane's with me today, and I'd like him to share a little bit maybe with what he was dealing with, some of the health stuff maybe I guess that he's improved upon, and just let him share a little bit about what he experienced.
Yeah, so I'm Shane Corp. I've been racing for 10 years now, and I met Mike in January of 2018, and we saw that I was sensitive to dairy. So what we did was we changed my diet a little bit. I cut some of the dairy out at first, and I just kept cutting more and more and more out of it. And as soon as the racing season started, I tried to just eliminate completely. And the last two seasons of racing I've been state championship, and I thank Mike for it all, really, and myself for training myself as hard as possibly can to make my diet as good as possible. And what he put me on, I feel so much better now. Like, I used to take dairy all the time. I was eating ice cream so much, and it was giving me headaches and everything. I did not feel good at all. And Mike put me on this Juice Plus, and I started taking these gummies and capsules, and I started noticing that I wasn't getting sick as much, and my headaches were starting to go away, and I was just feeling better overall. And I'm still with Mike today, and I hope to be with him for as long as I possibly can, to just keep my mental health and my physical health as best as possibly can. And he really has helped me out a lot.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for sharing that. I mean, it's no doubt that when I changed my diet, I experienced much better health. I used to deal with a lot of croup, respiratory stuff, bronchitis, headaches myself. Definitely had joint pain. Just felt like I was always in a constant state of inflammation, heart palpitations, high blood pressure. So enough about me. A lot of people have already heard about me. So I'm really just fortunate to be able to just share what I've found and help the kids out. And you just become grateful, and that's what you want to do. So, it's great to hear that Shane's not dealing with the headaches, because so many kids are dealing with headaches. And, we talk a little bit, he talked about his performance. So, I met Shane. He was already an outstanding athlete. The kid puts in the effort on the track. All I did was help him with some things that I found out and tweaked his diet a little bit. But in 2018, I went to the racetrack, and, he ended up winning Ohio State, the championships there. We have a photo of that. And then Shane also won 2019 state championship. So 2 years back to back. That's awesome. So towards the end of the year, I got to thinking about, okay, how I had enough money in the account. I wanted to help two different kids. So, I asked Shane to come, and I came up with the idea for the shirts and the hats. And I figured if anybody was to buy a shirt, buy a hat, help share the message, they would be able to get raffle tickets. So Shane helped me pick the winners in 2019, there was 2 picked. But I want to talk a little bit about Shane and the fact that, sure, he's a champion, but there's a photo of him that I came across on Facebook. And, he's not only an outstanding athlete, and I can't say enough about Shane for being here and standing up and sharing his story with you today. But you look at him, and he's a role model on the track, and he definitely is one of those kids that will turn around and be a role model for these younger kids and help them kind of rise up and figure out their challenges. So Shane, I just want to say thanks a lot for showing up today and being here and sharing your message and all that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of Stand Up for All Kids. Tune in next time. We'll be sharing more stories. Thank you.